The power of belief. Two men were in a hospital ward where all the patients within had suffered some trauma to their legs, and many were unable to walk due to their horrific injuries, which ranged from accidents, diseases, and other chronic conditions. The doctor arrived in the morning and said that the tests for one of the patients revealed that his disease had not spread to his legs and he would be okay to walk again. He wanted to give the good news to the patient himself, but then he got sidetracked with another urgent task. And so instead, he told the nurse to pick up the notes from his desk and asked her to go in and tell him the good news, saying that he would follow through in a moment once he had finished what he was doing. So the nurse dutifully collected the notes and went into the ward, and then she relayed the good news to the patient. There were tears of joy as the patient had been bedridden for months following extensive treatments to see if he could walk again. In those months he had even tried once or twice to walk, but was always defeated and remained as he was. After the nurse had finished explaining this to him, the patient got out of his bed and tried to walk slowly, gently, one foot in front of the other. He tried again and again, and then it happened. He could walk a few paces. He screamed to the ward, "I can walk! I can walk! The beautiful nurse has given me the best news ever. It is a miracle," he said, as he gently lowered himself down and proceeded to put one foot in front of the other. And after stumbling a little bit more again, he did it. He could walk, and he was walking. It was a wonderful feeling, as he could actually walk unfettered across to the other side of the ward and back again. The other patients clapped, and there were tears of happiness everywhere as everyone shared his joy. Right about then, the doctor walked into the ward and was shocked to see what was going on, which was strange considering he had instructed the nurse to do what he himself had asked. He raced over to the nurse and asked her what had happened, and so she explained to him, but rather perturbed by the doctor's sudden loss of memory. The doctor readily snapped back, "This is not the patient I was referring to. It was that patient there," and he pointed across the room to another man lying in his bed. They both looked at the notes, and it appeared that the nurse had inadvertently picked up the wrong ones. He looked up at the patient who was walking and whispered to the nurse, "This is a true miracle, as this man should not be able to walk so soon. It's impossible for him to be walking, as he still had another few more weeks until he was ready. What did you say to him?" The nurse shrugged her shoulders and said, "I just told him he can walk, that was all, and I suppose he believed me." The patient was later released that day, and he walked out as the patients in the ward cheered him on his way. Now, this is a highly dangerous mistake to make in a situation such as this one, but it just goes on to illustrate and exemplify the power of your thoughts. The belief that you can do something will more often than not supersede any physical or mental barrier that we have, as long as we convince ourselves that we can do it and place our trust in this belief. Then nothing can stand in our way. The power of the thought is a land full of richness and many avenues for you to excel in your life. So always believe in the power of belief.